welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating legal case where a simple lost suitcase spiraled into a landmark decision about the real value of a broken promise. Completely distraught and discouraged. Just let that sink in for a second. That feeling right there is the heart of our story. So, who felt this way, and how on earth did that feeling of despair end up in front of the Supreme Court? Well, to understand all this, we've got to meet the person at the center of it all, Dr. Pablo, a brilliant academic who was right on the verge of a massive career-defining moment. Now, Dr. Pablo wasn't just any professor. We're talking about a highly respected expert in her field, a research grantee, and a specialist in something incredibly important. So, she gets this incredible invitation from a UN agency to speak at an international conference in Italy. This was a huge deal. An honor like this, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not just for her, but for her university and her country on the world stage. And just imagine the pressure. She was scheduled to be the second speaker on the very first day of the conference. All her hard work, all her research was about to be put on display for her peers from around the globe. The stakes, they couldn't have been higher. So Dr. Pablo books her flight with Alitalia, arrives in Milan the day before her big presentation. Everything is going perfectly to plan. And then disaster strikes. This is that moment where the dream trip just turns into an absolute nightmare. Her two suitcases are missing. One of them had her clothes, but the other had everything. All of her scientific papers, her presentation slides, every bit of material she had worked so hard to prepare. Just gone. You can just feel the panic building, right? First, she's told, oh, don't worry, the bags are on the next flight. But they're not. So in total desperation, she flies to another city, searches 2 more airports, fills out all the forms. Nothing. And all the while, the clock is just ticking down to her presentation. She had to accept a devastating truth. Her opportunity was gone. And here's the truly tragic irony in all of this. The airline did find the bags, and they sent them to the conference the day after she was supposed to speak. The opportunity was lost forever. And to add insult to injury, she didn't even get her luggage back for another 11 months. 11! So, back in Manila, Dr. Pablo demanded compensation. The airline offered her some free tickets, but she wasn't having it. She took them to court. And this, right here, is where the case turns into a huge legal showdown. See, Alitalia pulled out its big gun, this powerful international treaty called the Warsaw Convention, and the airline's argument was basically, hey, look, this treaty puts a very strict cap on how much we have to pay for delayed bags. Our hands are tied. And this really boils it all down to the central conflict. On one side, you have Dr. Pablo's claim, which isn't about lost clothes. It's about a lost career opportunity, about humiliation. And on the other side, you have the airline, hiding behind an international treaty, trying to frame this as just a simple case of delayed bags. So, on the surface, it looks like the convention puts a pretty firm cap on what Dr. Pablo could claim. But the Supreme Court saw things very, very differently. This was the absolute crucial question the court had to answer. Does an international treaty about baggage weight get the final say when the damage that's been caused is something so deeply personal and unique? And the court's reasoning here is just brilliant. They said, okay, yes, the convention absolutely covers routine baggage issues, lost socks, a delayed suitcase, but they argued it does not regulate liability for exceptional damages. Alitalia's mistake didn't just delay some luggage, it caused a totally unique kind of injury by robbing Dr. Pablo of a professional honor she could never get back. And that led the court to this fantastic phrase. They called what happened to her a special species of injury. This was something more, something that went way beyond the actual contents of a suitcase. So, with this whole new way of looking at the harm she suffered, what was the final outcome? What happened to Dr. Pablo? The Supreme Court ordered Alitalia to pay Dr. Pablo for 40,000 pesos in what's called nominal damages. Plus, on top of that, an extra 5,000 pesos to cover her attorney's fees. Now, you might be thinking, that's not a lot of money. And you're right, but that's the whole point of nominal damages. The money wasn't meant to pay her back for the lost opportunity. It was the court's way of officially planting a flag and saying a legal right was violated here, A wrong was done to you, and we, the court, officially recognize it. So, why does this old case still matter so much today? Well, because it establishes a really powerful idea that the damage from a broken promise can be way more than just financial. It shows that even international treaties have their limits, especially when they run up against truly exceptional human circumstances. And maybe most importantly, it places a real legal value on things we all understand: professional opportunities and personal dignity. And it leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This case forces us all to ask, what really is the true price of a lost opportunity? There might not be a simple dollar amount, but thanks to Dr. Pablo, the law now recognizes that the price is very real, and it matters. Thanks for joining this explainer.